Nicole, I know you do a lot of the consultations when it comes to this. So what happens, why do people come in, and do they come in and say, like, I have a scalp problem?
Usually people are coming in because they feel like they're thinning.
Okay.
And then we discover a scalp issue, if there is one. They could just very well be thinning, or they could have a sebum issue, or they could have a dandruff issue, or they could have both.
Okay. So what's the protocol? What do you do?
The first thing we would do is go through what we call a scalp analysis, or a tricho test. It takes about 45 minutes. We would test the sebum, we would test the hydration levels, the pH of the client's skin, and then we would go through a series of tests on our software, take different pictures under different magnifications, under a blue light, and then we would be able to determine which protocol would be best for the client.
You have some products here as well, right?
Yes.
And this goes hand in hand with what you all are talking about, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what I'm looking at here.
So the Ruby line, the green packaging, we call that the Ruby line. That's just strictly for hair loss. The purple or the diamond line is for dandruff, and then the yellow line or the sapphire line we use for excess sebum.
Okay.
And this device here in the front would test the sebum
Like
and
if you did see an
hydration levels.
abnormality, because you could probably see if somebody's scalp is dry, right?
Yep.
Could you then tell if they're thinning by doing something like this?
Usually if they're thinning, they're going to be visibly thinning.
Okay.
But we look underneath the scope to look for miniaturization, which would be decrease in size of the hair strands themselves, clogging of the follicle, or even dead follicles. How it works is if someone comes to us for hair loss, and then we look underneath the scope and we figure out that they have a sebum issue. We have to correct the sebum issue before we can correct the hair loss issue.
See, you say it so much better than I do. No.